This is Kyle Gregory, Monmouth University, number 35. You're watching Sit Downs with JaMir.
This is Kieran Gregory at the University of Richmond. You're watching Sit Down with JaMir.
Welcome to another episode of Sit Downs with JaMir. I got Kyle and Kieran Gregory with me, former QO players, and now at Monmouth and Richmond. Former teammates at the Seneca Sports Association. It's a long time ago, it seems like. So guys, when was the first time you fell in love with football?
I just remember growing up, like watching football a little bit casually. Then I just started watching the Ravens a lot, watching Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and those teams. Them slowly beginning to be great. The passion Ray Lewis played for, like he just really became my idol growing up, and I really wanted to emulate him and be like him.
Really, I started falling in love with him when he did. He was always watching football and always on football and tell me all this stuff about football. I mean, we played, but it wasn't like consuming my life like that. Yeah. So once listening to him talk about it, about the Ravens and all that, I started watching the Redskins and Sean Taylor, and that's when I started falling in love with the Redskins and football in general.
So growing up, was there some sibling rivalries between y'all with anything? You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, we used to be out front of the house playing catch with my dad. Karen would be beating me on every route. I get mad, punching him and kicking him, getting all upset, going in the house angry, not wanting to play no more. It would be bad. But, I mean, it really did get me better because my dad would always tell me when you start playing with kids your age, you're just gonna be that much better than them. So I'm just really glad I just had those experiences to get me better and raise my level of competition.
Yeah, I mean, my dad would get mad until they start yelling at him for his kicking and hitting me, but it was everything. We would race to the car, race around church, run around the sanctuary.
Oh yeah.
We would run around the sanctuary. My mom would yell at us to sit down and wait till she was done talking to whoever she was talking to. But it was always a rivalry between us. But it just made us better.
Okay. So you guys talked about your parents a little bit. Were they instrumental in y'all growing up, keeping y'all on the right path?
Oh, definitely. My dad being a police officer, he was. My mom just being the woman she is. They just really kept me on track for the most part. Because I was growing up, I was really the bad one. I was really the one getting in trouble, doing bad at school. But they were always on me, but they always had faith in me. I would get myself together. I think for that day.
Growing up, Kyle, when we did karate in second, third grade, Kyle was one that was always winning the competitions and getting first place. But I was the one when we went to the police, the police headquarters, academy, whatever, to practice and our routine for karate. I was the one that wanted to practice, wanted to run, go through it over and over again to make sure I got it perfect. Kyle would want to do it once and just quit and say, all right, I'm done. My dad would try to get him to get up and keep going. No, I'm going to sit on the side. But I would keep going, and I would get third, second, fourth place, and it frustrated me because I wanted to get first, and I put all that effort in. I wanted to see the results, but I wasn't seeing it at that time. But my dad pulled me aside, told me to keep pushing, not to worry about it right now, because that work ethic would get me to bigger and better places later on in life.
Okay. So Kieran, what's your funniest Kyle story growing up?
Let's see, the funniest Kyle story. He got in trouble all the time for lying. That was the biggest thing with my dad. If you lied, you were automatically getting a butt whooping. So, biggest one. Oh, I remember one where Kyle had to bring home a test that he had done bad on. So instead of having my dad sign it like he was supposed to, he signed it for my dad. He didn't sign it in cursive. He wrote PJ Gregory, and handed it back to his teacher. My mom works at the school. The teacher goes down the hall, tells my mom, pulls my brother out of class, and from then, we went back to the house, and
It wasn't my brightest moment.
How old were you?
It was fourth grade.
Fourth grade. You always remember stuff like that.
Yep.
Specific grade. All right. So what's your funniest Kieran story?
He was good for the most part. It was just me. Everything that happened wrong in the house, everybody looked at me. And 90% of the time it wasn't my fault. So I really don't have one for
All right, so the question is, when did you turn it around, Kyle?
I really turned around really around 8th grade when I went to Kingsview Middle School. I really found a good core group of friends that had their heads on straight. I really started like understand like how to like get a good work ethic, how much school meant to me. I mean, I still struggled in school. I still had issues, especially going to 9th grade. But that's the turning point. I started like getting myself together.
Okay. So, like you said, you went to Kingsview Middle School. You guys lived in the Northwest High School District. So why didn't you guys go to Northwest?
Growing up, my dad, he was a police officer, as I said, but he was a EFO at QO here. So we went to a whole bunch of football games, and eventually we started being the ball boys for the football team. We got to know Coach Mack and the rest of the coaching staff, got to know the players, got to know the Red Army, how great they were, and just the whole community in general. We just fell in love with it. And when I was going into 8th grade, it was really a hard decision than I thought it would be, because I had made a lot of good friends like Kingsview that were going to Northwest, and now I've become QO. But I just knew that I had a secure future at QO, because at the time Northwest coaching situation, it was all in disarray.
Right.
They just had a whole bunch of problems. So I just knew coming here with Coach Mack and the rest of the people, I just had a whole bunch of stability. People I knew that were going to take care of me and that helped me do well succeed.
Okay. Anything to add?
Like Kyle said, we were the ball boys, but what really solidified it for me was I was in about 6th or 7th grade maybe. QO had gone to the state championship,
Right.
and I was the ball boy at the game. And they had a huge comeback, won the game, and like, that coming back, me and my dad had come back to the school after they won, and there was a big parade,
Right.
a big party or whatever. There was sirens going off, everyone's going crazy. It was just a huge moment, and I wanted to be a part of that, and couldn't see myself anywhere else.
So you guys won a lot of games on this field. You guys won a lot of games overall. From the outside in, we see how great of a program QO is. What was the experience like? Could y'all give us a little bit of insight on it?
It wasn't always easy. Coach Mack and the rest of the guys, they were just always on us, preaching perfection. We just really had to have a really constant state of focus around them. But we always had fun. We always enjoyed it. We always had the motivation of coming out in front of these great fans and the great community, making them proud, and just having the motivation to win a state championship.
I'm gonna start with Kieran first. What was your best memory on this field at QO?
It was my sophomore year, big playoff game against Seneca Valley. We played them earlier in the year. It was a real close game. Played them on this field. Honestly, other than playing North Dakota State this past year with Richmond, it was the loudest game I've ever played in. Stands were packed. Back over here behind the scoreboard was packed. The away fans were packed behind the goalpost. They had to put like caution tape around so no one was like coming onto the field. It was honestly the loudest game I've ever been a part of, and just like how many people showed up, and just how much emphasis was put on that game. Oh yeah, we won that game. It came down to a big 4th and 2. We ran a stretch play, had to make a key block in order for us to get first down and continue our drive and end up scoring and win the game.
Kyle, what's your favorite moment here on this field?
There are a lot of great moments, but my personal favorite was my junior year. It was the regional championship. We were playing Northwest. There was a lot of hype and talking going into the game from fans on both sides. We just really had a focus I've never been a part of before during that week. We were just like laser sharp focus, everything in practice just clicking, defense shutting down everything. Then game time came, the stands was packed. It was everything back here was packed. It was standing room only. And then we came out and played one of the best complete games we've ever played. We came out and won. I think it was 41-7. Everybody was flying around, making plays. It was a really good time.
So we can't talk about QO career without the unfortunate losing in the state championship. First off, how's the experience of playing in the state championship? That's always a goal for high school players. And that whole situation, how was that game for you guys?
The first one against Old Mill, I didn't play because I had a concussion, but I practiced up until that point, the championship week. So it was really 50-50 if they were going to let me play or not. So like during critical possessions during that game, it was really 50-50, like am I going to get it or not. So I was just, at the end of the game, I was just really disappointed because I thought I could have really contributed and helped out, helped us win the game. But unfortunately, they made the decision, and that was the decision. So we just came back next year, and we played wise. I don't know, we just didn't make the plays we needed to. Penalties at the end really hurt us. It was really back and forth. Both defenses playing really well. They had B1 players on both sides of the ball. But they just made more plays than we did, so that's what it was.
Like Kyle said, both games were heartbreaking. I still haven't even opened up the trophy that they gave us. It's still sitting on my dresser in the wrapping, whatever they gave us. So I haven't looked at it, haven't opened it. It was heartbreaking. I mean, after the first game against Old Mill, I would try to watch the game on YouTube. I was sitting in the living room, broke down crying. My mom asked me what was wrong. Like, I can't believe we lost that game. When I was younger, being a ball boy at QO won the state championship, they got a ring. My dad ended up getting one because he was so influential with the team. The ring would be sitting in a trophy case. I'll take it out, look at it, put it on my finger, spin it around in my hand. My dad asked me, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I really want to get one of these rings when I go to QO. That's all I really want. Having that opportunity to get a ring, not once but twice, and then end up losing, that broke me down, and I just couldn't. Still can't watch those games today. It still hurts.
Well, obviously, you guys didn't let that deter your football career. How did it feel to be recruited by Division I schools and you accepting scholarships to go there?
It was great. It was a long process, kind of a lot of pressure looking at the schools I was offered by. ODU, Old Dominion was first, and as I was going throughout the recruiting process and right before my senior year, they were saying I had to make a decision or else they're going to pull the offer, and I started freaking out that offers other places, but I was still looking at like where I wanted to go, so I started freaking out like, do I need to make a decision now? Or like, my dad sat me down and said, it's your decision, you don't have to worry about them, you have other places looking at you, you don't need to, this is based on your timeline, not theirs. So I ended up not talking to them anymore, but like, other than that, it was hard making decisions. I remember being in North Carolina with my grandparents' house, like sitting down with my dad, like, how am I gonna make a decision? I like all these places, I can't like figure out what place is right for me. But I was able to figure out, like, going back and looking at how my relationship with the coaches and like what places like I thought had the best opportunity for me in the future. Based on all that, Richmond was the best opportunity for me.
For me personally, it was really kind of up and down because I just felt like the way I was performing, I was really getting like undervalued by a lot of the coaching staffs. They really valued the 40 time, and that really isn't my strong suit. So I would go to camps, run a okay 40 time, then go do show out and all the rest of the drills, and I would see another kid that I was just as good at ran a really good 40 time, get the offers that me. That really motivated me and brought me to strive to get better regardless of what my 40 time was. And for Monmouth, it was really the only school that really showed me real genuine interest. They really were on me. They called me every day. They really showed love from the first day.
So unfortunately, we know football can't last forever. So what's your goals for a future career?
I actually want to be a police officer like my dad. Just seeing like what's going on in the community right now with police officers. I want to be able to put a positive vibe on it and show like that police officers are key parts of the community in a good way. So like working with kids in school, mentoring like my dad does, and all the good things that they do. Being able to show that to everyone in the community and change the feel that people have towards police officers.
Right now, I'm a criminal justice major. I really don't know what exactly I plan on doing, but I just know I want to have an impact on the community and how the way this country is run as a whole. I really want to, me personally, I just want to get involved in the government on a federal level to have like more of an impact to see how the country is really run, see how people really interact with each other. So that's what I'm
So it seems as though your dad is a major influence on you guys' lives. If you guys want to speak more about him, go ahead.
I don't know. He's just really been a key factor in my life, just because like he's really motivated me and showed me how to become a man and how to carry myself, and just really appreciative of him staying in my life and just never giving up on me, because I really had some rough patches in my life and he just really stayed there with me. He was hard on me, but he really just kept faith in me, kept saying, I believe in you, you just have to get yourself together, and that's what he did.
I mean, it's just a blessing to have a dad, honestly, because some dads want to, like have the kid and just walk out, but having a dad that sticks around and is a major influence in your life is a major blessing. I remember Kyle's first JV game here at Quince Orchard. I was standing over there after we lost to Damascus the night before. I told my dad I was about to be starting a defensive end because I played well the game before. And, I remember my grandfather took a picture of me and my dad talking right there, right above the fence, right across the fence. My dad was whispering in my ear, like telling me, like, this is your time, like you gotta step up. And he was just really encouraging through every step of my life, and just incredibly grateful.
All right, y'all. So, what was your best play as a Quince Orchard Cougar?
My best play, we were playing Whitman the week after we lost to Seneca Valley. I was in the middle of one of the greatest game I've ever played. I already had about 10 tackles, already had an interception, had a forced fumble and a fumble recovery. So coming out in the second half, first drive, he threw it up. It was tipped. I caught it and took it to the house for 6. And it was just really a culmination of one of the best games I've ever played, and it was really the culmination of our turnaround of the season.
On that play, I almost blocked someone in the back while you were about to go. The last dude you had to beat, I was about to block him in the back. I just put my hands up, he cut behind me, and scored. I almost took that away from you.
And fun fact, Kyle is the career leader at Quince Orchard for interceptions and pass deflections, so you got to put some respect on his name. All right, so Kieran, what's your...
My best play was playing at Clarksburg. They were a really good team. We went into the game, we didn't think they were going to be that good, but their quarterback ended up taking over that game. They almost beat us. That's the year we went to the state championship the first time. Anyway, it was an empty set. I was at defensive end. Quarterback called hike and started pass rushing. The quarterback dropped back, set in the pocket. I went behind him. He ended up coming. He stepped up in the pocket. I was behind him. He turned around, started scrambling. As soon as he turned around, I was right there. Picked him up, slammed him on the ground. Got up. All I hear is oh. I got up and went over to the sideline. I turned around. The referee turned to the Clarksburg sideline, bringing on the trainers, and we knew he was hurt and he was out for the rest of the game. And brought in the freshman, just won the same Clarksburg team.
It was over. We were all a part of one of the best games in recent MoCo history. Seneca Valley, the high school I played for, and Quince Orchard. 2012 season, me and Kiara senior year, Kyle junior year. It was a back and forth game, two great teams, and I think we edged them 12-6. It was just a great game, and it changed their season around. It lifted our season up. Any specific things y'all took away from that game, Kieran first?
I respected y'all as a team, but honestly I didn't think that was gonna be that close of a game. I thought coming into the season, how dominant we were was just too much for y'all to handle. But y'all had some key players step up, like Kevin Joppy, Calvin Rieger. Y'all stepped up and made some big plays, and honestly, it was coming off coming off the field, going onto the bus, it didn't even feel real. It just felt like a nightmare. Felt like the season, it put a lot of questions in my head about the rest of the season, but ended up going to the state championship, unfortunately losing, but it was a key point in our season.
Kyle, what do you take away from that game?
For me personally, I played good the whole game. It was just the last drive, the game-winning touchdown. I gave up the touchdown on Kevin Joppy. He ran an out route. I was slow breaking up on it. I remember I slipped, and then I tried to break up on it, but he cut inside me and scored the game-winning touchdown. So me personally, I took it really personally. I was really upset that whole weekend leading up into practice, and just going into that Whitman game where I had the best game of my career. It just really set us up for a really epic comeback the rest of the 8 games leading up to the state championship.
Yeah, Kyle wasn't the only one with a blunder that game. I was having a good game also at safety, with probably the highest total of tackles that I had that season. But unfortunately, QO was passing the ball. They were in the red zone. And I remember the ball in the light and seeing my 2 hands go up and the ball going right through my hands and turning back around, and DeAndre was in the end zone. Their band was going crazy, their crowd was going crazy, and I just thought that I blew it, just thought we were gonna lose that game. So I mean, it was a lot of crazy memories in that game. So, it was definitely a great game. I want to thank the Gregory Brothers again, Kyle and Kieran, for joining me for another episode. Thank you guys for checking it out. Make sure you check out Kyle, number 35, strong safety at Monmouth University, and Kieran, this is his last season at Richmond, defensive end, number 41. Thank y'all again.
I'm Kieran Gregory.
I'm Kyle Gregory.
You're watching Sit Downs with JaMir.